The film begins with a girl named Drasa who is hiding in a dark and scary cave. She is holding a sniper rifle and waiting for someone a few kilometers away from the cave. A plane then lands at the airport. As soon as the president steps out of the plane, Drasa shoots him with a sniper and kills him. No one around realizes where the shot came from or who fired it. Drasa is not an ordinary girl, she is a skilled and ruthless sniper. After completing her mission, she keeps the bullet shell with her. Later, Drasa goes to visit her mother's grave. When she arrives at the graveyard, she sees that her father is already there. She approaches him and tries to talk, but then her father reveals that he knows everything about her. He also knows that she is a sniper, that she had just killed someone. Drasa responds by saying, "Sometimes I can't even sleep." And as she says this, she takes the bullet shell out of her pocket and hands it to her father. He places it with the rest of the bullet shells, and at this moment, we realize that Drasa has killed many people before. Now Drasa's father tells her that he has cancer and doesn't have much time left. He says, "I'm only a guest in this world for a few more days, but if I don't die soon, I will take my own life on Valentine's Day." Hearing this, Drasa is shocked. She tries to stop her father from thinking this, but he tells her that this might be their last meeting and they may never see each other again. Meanwhile, we see a man named Levi, who is troubled by his nightmares. To cope, he often sits by the seashore and writes poems. Today, he is doing the same when he suddenly receives a message telling him to come to a certain address. As soon as Levi reads the message, he gets into his car and drives to the location. When he enters the house, he meets a woman named Bartolomeo. From their conversation, we learn that Levi was once a sniper in the military, but now he has retired and spends most of his time at home. Bartolomeo talks to Levi and gives him a new mission. She tells him, "I want to send you somewhere because you are a great sniper and only you can do this job." She then asks Levi, "Is there anyone in your family who will miss you after you leave? Because once you go, you may never return." Levi thinks for a moment and then replies, "No, there is no one. I live alone." Bartolomeo tells him that she will give him all the details about the mission later. After that, Levi is made unconscious. When he wakes up, he finds himself on a plane. He still doesn't know which country he is being taken to. When he asks the staff on the plane, they ignore him. But then a pilot comes to him and says, "We have reached your destination. We are going to drop you off here." She also tells Levi that he will have to walk at least 32 kilometers from the landing point to reach the location where he needs to complete his mission. After saying this, she gives Levi a parachute. He puts it on and jumps out of the plane, landing in the snow. He starts walking, and after 2 days, he reaches his destination. There he meets a man named JD, who takes him to a watchtower and tells him that he will walk there for the next 1 year. JD explains that he has completed his own 1-year duty and now it's Levi's turn. Levi is confused about his job, so he asks JD. JD explains that there is a deep trench called Gorge and Levi's only task is to guard it. He also tells Levi some important rules. He can contact others only once a month. His tower is called West Tower. There is another tower, Eastern Tower, but Levi must not talk to people there. His job is to focus only on his mission. And the people at Eastern Tower must focus on theirs. And he cannot contact anyone for an entire year. And there is an automatic gun in the tower which Levi must reload every day if it runs out of bullets. There are landmines below, and if there is an explosion, Levi must handle it. Even after hearing all of this, Levi still doesn't understand his mission. So he asks JD if his job is to stop people from getting close to the trench. JD replies, "No, your job is to stop whatever is inside George from coming out." Then JD picks up a small bomb and throws it into the trench. As soon as it explodes, a terrifying and strange sounds come from the deep inside, like the roar of a monster. This is when Levi realizes that the trench is not just an ordinary pit, it holds something truly horrifying. JD explains that the creatures inside the trench are called Halloweens, and Levi must stop them from coming out at any cost. He also tells Levi a frightening story. In 1940, 3 army battalions went down into the trench to stop these creatures, but none of them ever came back. JD then warns Levi about a special alarm called the stray dog alarm. He says, if this alarm ever starts ringing, don't think, just run for your life. I don't know why, but that's what I was told, so I'm passing it on to you. As they talk, they notice a new officer arriving at the tower across from them. The previous officer there has completed his 1-year duty, just like JD. Finally, JD tells Levi about food and survival. He explains that enough food has been stored in the tower to last a whole year, but if Levi wants, he can also hunt for food. JD tells Levi that this place has been a secret for 75 years and no one knows about it. Their job is to keep it a secret in future as well. After saying this, JD steps outside and lights a cigarette to signal for his pickup. A helicopter arrives and JD boards it. However, before leaving, an officer inside the helicopter asks JD for his identity. Then shockingly, the officer shoots him dead. This shows how secretive this place is. No one is allowed to leave alive. Meanwhile, Levi follows his instructions. He loads bullets into the automatic gun and begins surveying the area. A month passes and Levi makes his first contact. He reports, "I have not encountered any enemy face to face." After saying this, he ends the call as he is only allowed to speak this much once a month. To pass the time, Levi starts reading books from the cupboard. While doing so, he notices messages written on the walls, left by previous guards who stayed there before him. These messages describe their experiences. Feeling curious, Levi steps outside and uses a telescope to look at the other tower. There, he sees a girl sitting. It's Drasa. Levi is mesmerized by her beauty and keeps looking at her, but he doesn't try to talk to her because he was strictly forbidden from contacting people from other towers. Months pass and Drasa also notices Levi. On her birthday, she decides to talk to him. She writes a message on a piece of paper asking for his name. When Levi sees it, he picks up a board and writes back, warning her not to talk to him. However, Drasa still writes her name. Seeing this, Levi also writes his name without thinking much. This is how they become friends. One day, Levi finds out that Drasa is a sniper. To test his skills, he aims at her belongings. In response, Drasa picks up a sniper and aims at his tower, showing she's ready to compete. But at that moment, she notices something terrifying: monsters crawling out of the trench. She quickly signals to Levi, warning him. Levi immediately starts shooting at them, but there are too many of them. Seeing this, Drasa helps from her tower, firing at the creatures and killing many of them. However, one of the monsters, a strange creature that looks half human and half animal, gets too close to Drasa. She tries to shoot it, but her bullets have no effect. The creature keeps moving towards her. At the last moment, Levi takes a precise shot, killing the monster and saving Drasa's life. The next day, he goes inside the mines. Suddenly, a small drone flies out of the trench and quickly leaves. Both Levi and Drasa see it, but they have no idea what it is. Months pass, and now it is December. One day, Levi decides to meet Drasa. He ties a rope to the part of the RPG launcher where the missile is placed. Drasa watches him but doesn't understand what he's trying to do. Levi then fires the missile, sending it across with the rope attached. The rope reaches Drasa's side and she ties it to a tree. Using the rope, Levi crosses over to the other tower. When Drasa sees him, she's very happy, but before hugging him, she tells him to take a bath. After Levi finishes, they sit and talk for a long time. Drasa asks Levi, "What was the longest shot you ever made?" Levi replies, "I shot a man from 3,240 meters away before coming here. I used to work in the Marines." Then Levi asks Drasa, "Why is this place such a big secret?" Drasa tells him not to think too much about it and to just focus on his duty. She also talks about her father, saying that he might have died by now. After this, she plays some music and invites Levi to dance with her. They grow closer and share an intimate moment. During this time, Levi tells Drasa that he writes poems and has even written one for her. Excited, Drasa asks him to recite it, but Levi refuses, saying he'll give it to her when they both leave this place. The next morning, Levi decides to return to his tower. However, as he's crossing back, he sees monsters climbing onto this tower. Suddenly, one of them triggers a landmine, causing a huge explosion. The explosion burns Levi's robe and he falls into the trench. Drasa sees this and without thinking twice grabs a parachute and jumps into the trench to save him. Inside the trench, Drasa lands in a river and struggles to reach the shore. Meanwhile, Levi is hanging from a tree, but suddenly a giant crab attacks him, causing him to fall. As he lands, the tree's roots start wrapping around him, trapping him. Before the roots can harm Levi, Drasa arrives just in time and saves him. As they start exploring the area, a group of creatures called Halloween appear on the horseback and attack them. Instead of running, Levi and Drasa fight bravely, managing to kill two of them while one escapes. Later, Levi notices something strange. One of the hollow men he killed is wearing a military uniform. This reminds him of what JD had told him before. Many years ago, 3 battalions of soldiers had fallen into this trench and never returned. But if they are still alive, how is that possible? This question keeps bothering Levi. Levi and Drasa continues moving forward and soon reach a horrifying place where trees are growing out of human bodies. It looks as if a deadly virus has spread there, turning people into something unnatural. As they stare in shock, more hollow men start approaching them. To escape, they run into a nearby church, but the church is just as terrifying. Inside, they find many dead bodies. It looked like these people took their own lives to escape the horrors of the virus. Suddenly, a giant spider attacks Drasa. It looks mutated, as if too has been affected by the virus. The spider lunges at them, but Levi and Drasa walk together, shooting it until it dies. Before they can catch their breath, hollow men break through the church doors. Seeing no other option, Levi and Drasa run as fast as they can. They find a tunnel built into the mountains, rush inside, and quickly shut the door behind them. Inside the tunnel, they discover something unexpected, a secret lab. It looks like experiments were once conducted here. They also find a backup generator, which they manage to turn on. While searching the lab, Levi comes across an old DVD player. When they play the DVD, a woman appears on the screen. She reveals details about a secret mission that took place in this area. She explains that they were working on a chemical missile with many scientists involved. But one day, an earthquake struck this place, causing the chemical missile to leak. As the chemical spread, many people were infected, including the woman in the video. She explains that they informed the military and asked them to bomb the area to stop the chemical from spreading further. However, the military ignored their warning. After hearing this, Levi and Drasa finally understand the truth about this place. They explore the tunnel further and discover something unexpected, a modern-looking computer. This seems strange considering the lab looks very abandoned. Curious, they turn on the computer and are shocked by what they find. The computer contains classified information about a company called Dark Lab, which specializes in paramilitary experiments. This company collects samples from infected people and uses them to create super soldiers. Because of this, no country wants to destroy this place completely. Levi also learns that the trench is 4.2 kilometers deep. As they leave the tunnel, suddenly a hollow man attacks them. It grabs Drasa, ties her with a rope, and drags her away. Drasa struggles to cut the rope, but it's of no use. Meanwhile, Levi desperately searches for her. After wandering around, he reaches a location where he finds a massive missile. There he sees Drasa hanging from a tree, while the hollow man who captured her stands nearby. Drasa begs the hollow man to untie her, but he ignores her. Determined, she manages to free her hands and attack him. A fierce fight breaks out between them. Meanwhile, Levi arrives just in time. He shoots the hollow man and rescues Drasa. But when he looks at the hollow man's uniform, he realizes something shocking. This was the first person ever assigned to guard the tower. He must have been infected and turned into a hollow man. Realizing they must escape, Levi and Drasa find an old car nearby. They install a new battery and tie it with a rope to help them climb out of the trench. Just as they start the car, a horde of hollow men attacks them. Levi and Drasa fight back, killing many using their sniper rifles. But when they run out of bullets, they set the hollow men on fire. Finally, they push the burning car down the hill, using the distraction to escape. They somehow manage to reach the eastern tower, but they are both afraid. What if one of them has been infected? The next day, Levi returns to West Tower using a rope. He receives a call from Batho, who asks if he entered Gorge. Levi lies and says no. However, Batho tells him that someone did enter Gorge because their computer has been accessed. She warns Levi that he must now kill whoever went inside. What Levi doesn't know is that Batho has already seen the CCTV footage. She knows that both Levi and Drasa went inside Gorge, but she didn't reveal this to Levi. Instead, she arrived the next day in a helicopter, planning to kill them. Levi and Drasa saw the helicopter and immediately realized they were being hunted. Without wasting any time, they run into the forest. Levi knew that if he ran 4.2 kilometers, he would reach the point where the trenches connected, allowing him to reunite with Drasa. To create a distraction, he activated the tower's anti-system, triggering an alarm. This meant that in 2 minutes, stray dog mode would activate, causing the entire area to self-destruct. Batho also knew this, so she quickly tries to escape in her helicopter. Meanwhile, Levi and Drasa ran as fast as they could. As soon as 2 minutes passed, the missile inside Gorge exploded. The massive blast killed all the hollow men and also destroyed Batho's helicopter, killing her instantly. Levi, however, was caught in the explosion and fell into the water. Drasa survived but was left alone, sitting and waiting for Levi to return. Days passed, but Levi never came back. Heartbroken, Drasa opened the poem Levi had written for her and read it. Then, with no other choice, Drasa started a new life and began working in a restaurant. One day, out of somewhere, Levi appeared. As soon as Drasa saw him, she got very happy. She ran to him and without uttering a word, they kissed. And like this, the story ends beautifully.